It's time to learn about the present perfect progressive tense. The present perfect progressive verb tense has three parts to the name. That's because there are also three parts to the verb. Have or has plus been plus your main verb with ing. I have been watching TV. She has been waiting. With the she, he, and it, we have to use has. Been will never change, and then here we put our main verb plus ing. So you've already looked at the present perfect verb. The present perfect tense has two different time frames. It can be past time with an unspecified time in the past, and then it can be events that started in the past and continues to now. Unfinished, things that continue until now. Is it the same for the present perfect progressive, or the PPP as I sometimes call it? No. PPP does not have two different time frames, past and continuing to now. There's only one choice. The present perfect progressive verb tense always continues to now. It is never finished. For example, my friends have been waiting for me. That means they're still waiting. That's not finished. So hurry up. The car alarm has been honking. It is still honking. It hasn't stopped yet, so go turn off your car alarm. Both present perfect and present perfect progressive are for actions that start in the past and continue to now. So, what's the difference? When do you choose one or when do you choose the other? Sometimes the present perfect and the present perfect progressive have exactly the same meaning. That's true with these verbs: work, live, teach, study, play. You can choose the present perfect or you can choose the present perfect progressive. It doesn't matter. They're the same. I have worked at Laney for 4 years. I have been working at Laney for 4 years. They have studied English since 2012. They have been studying English since 2012. They haven't lived in the Bay Area for long. We haven't been living in the Bay Area for long or for a long time, right? So with work, study, live, it doesn't matter which one you choose. But sometimes we prefer to use the present perfect progressive. So the present perfect progressive is often used for continuous actions when you give an unfinished time period in your sentence. For example, it has been raining all day. So all day is not finished. Raining is continuous and the day is not over yet. We have been studying verb tenses for the last 3 weeks. So if I just say last week, that's in the past. But if I say for the last, that's an unfinished time period. Okay, so for the last week means last week up till now. For the last 3 weeks means 3 weeks ago up till now, and it's not finished. So common expressions that show unfinished time are for the last, so for the last 5 minutes, for the last 2 days, for the last year, and all day, all week, all year. So these expressions are not finished, or it shows that the verb action is not finished. If there's no time period mentioned with the present perfect progressive, it just means it has happened recently. So I could ask, what have you been doing? That means recently. What have you been doing? I have been learning karate recently. Where have you been hiding? So when you don't see your friend for some time, maybe they haven't been around recently, you could ask this question. Where have you been hiding? It's kind of funny. I have been working a lot recently or lately, right? So we talked before about verbs that can't be progressive. So they can't be in the present progressive, they can't be in the past progressive, and that's also true for the present perfect progressive. So all progressive verbs have these rules. No stative verbs. So you wouldn't say, have you been having your ice cream, right? No. Or have you been knowing her for a long time? No. You would use the present perfect. I have known her for a long time, right? And then remember, progressive verbs are not used with fast actions, right? So we wouldn't say, I have been falling, I have been sneezing, I have been forgetting. No, that's weird. They happen faster. So you could say, I've fallen, or I have sneezed, or I have forgotten. No progressive. And then remember that progressive verbs are for actions that continue, not things that repeat. So when you talk about, I have seen a movie 3 times, that doesn't continue, that repeats. So you wouldn't say, I have been seeing that movie 3 times. It doesn't make sense because it starts and stops. It doesn't continue. So those are my main points that I want you to know about the present perfect progressive. So go on to do some practice. Good luck.